same room together a lot of the time, but the two positions you coach, a lot of turnover there. Can you just take us into the position battles heading into spring camp at the tight end spot and at the inside receiver spot?
Yep, and we do meet as a whole every single day. So it's an interesting dynamic when it comes to the position meeting room. But there's going to be a lot of new faces, which is great because that means this spring it's a wide open competition. And so people got to find some way to create that edge. And I was talking to guys today, like, what are you doing to separate yourself from the rest of the group of the pack? Because reality is Lake's gone, Makai's gone. So who's going to fill all those snaps? Those are a lot of snaps that got to be replaced. And it's a wide open competition right now. And so there's no depth chart right now going into spring. But my message to the guys today was after spring ball, we'll have a good idea of what the depth chart is. And whoever's at the top of the depth chart, they're going to go into fall camp at the top of the depth chart. And so those guys, some guys are going to start trending upwards. Some guys are going to start declining. And if you can separate yourself now, these next 2 weeks going into spring ball, you're going to have a good chance to compete with the ones.
Back here, I know tight end is a tough position for young guys to transition to. That's notoriously, in Mark Bowman's case, obviously he has a ton of talent, but where in terms of his mind gives you confidence that he could step in right away and make an impact?
Just his work ethic and approach. Again, you could do the bare minimum of showing up when we ask you to be here on the schedule, but he's a guy that's texting me to meet at an extra time, or I'm walking out of the building to leave at night and he's doing a walkthrough on his own with Sam Heward on the turf in the weight room. And so when a guy's investing the extra time, obviously what you put in is what you're going to get out, but just his approach on how he wants to be great, it's going to pay off for him. He's pretty complete. Obviously, just I think the point of attack at the Big Ten, just in the blocking game, that's where we just got to really emphasize this spring. But in terms of just being a natural pass catcher, route runner, being explosive, he can do all that, which you guys could see from the high school tape. But we're very excited to get him going.
Coach back here. We see the product, just talking about Makai Lemon last year, we see the product of what he does on Saturdays, but from the practices that we saw last year, he's very detail oriented. He does everything full speed. Do you kind of use that as the standard when you're talking with some of these new guys or just even guys coming back this year?
Yep, no, that's our standard. And if you guys sit in my meeting room or you see how I coach on the field, that's going to be our standard. It's going to be details, 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 because I'm a firm believer the differences in the details, and the details are going to catch up to you at some point. And then, practice is everything to me. It doesn't matter if it's a walkthrough, doesn't matter if it's a Wednesday practice, Friday practice. Practice is everything. And so the type of player you are in practice, that's going to translate to the games on Saturday. And he was just so consistent with how he did everything, and I think that's why he's going to get his name called pretty early in the draft.
Two questions for you. First, Walter Matthews is still here. They're
Yep.
going in the third year in the system as a tight end. What's it going to take to get him on the field, that next step? And then with recruiting, you've been really successful. Relationships matter. In your own opinion, why do you connect so well with the recruits?
Question number one, talking about Walter Matthews. Obviously, he's got all the tools and qualities that we are excited about, and so it's just my job to continue to develop him in all aspects of being a complete tight end. He's a guy that's eager to learn, a guy that's attacking the weight room with a great mindset right now. He's seeing tremendous gains in the weight room, and so I'm excited to just keep seeing him progress this spring. And then in terms of recruiting, it's who you are as a person, right? I think I'm very relentless when it comes to recruiting. I take it personal if someone wants to battle us out or battle myself out with a recruit. And so I'm going to try to find an edge of whether I'm the person texting him last at night, or the first message in the morning going out, or having genuine FaceTimes with them, touching base with everybody in their life, whether it's their quote-unquote champion or their guardian or their mom or the dad, or maybe it could be a 7-on-7 coach. Whether it's connecting with people, I think you got it or you don't. You can't really just make that over time, and I think it's God blessed me with person skills, and I got to use it to my advantage in the recruiting game. Yep, numbers don't lie, so we definitely have that in our case.
scholarship tight ends. Who are the inside receivers that are in your room?
Yeah, that's a
this
good question.
upcoming season?
Yep. So this year, you've got Zach Williams. He made the transition from the outside room into my room. So he'll now be in the inside receiver room. You got Romero Eisen. You have Trent Mosley. You have Cam Sermons, and you have Seth Zamora.
Hi, Haley Sawyer, Orange County Register. Thinking back to the Alamo Bowl, what did Carson and Taniela show you in that game that you're taking into consideration for the position battle in the spring?
I think they took a tremendous stride forward. It was a blessing to have that later bowl game because we were able to get so many practices through that month of December. Like Nella's growth from December 1st to when we kicked off that game was huge. And same with Carson because they're high rep guys. And I mean, with Lake and Walker not being in that game, those guys got a ton of reps. And so it's very fortunate to have that month of preparation. And I think it's given them a different confidence going into the spring. Like Nella's walking around with a different type of look, and it's a good look. You know, he's playing a lot more confident. He really has a chance to be a leader in that room because there's a lot of new faces, and somebody's got to emerge as that leader. And it doesn't matter if you're a freshman, sophomore, walk-on scholarship, anybody can be a leader in my eyes.
You had opportunities to go elsewhere this offseason. Why'd you choose to stay here?
Why not USC? When I took this job last year, it was a dream come true, right? And I think it's an honor to be recognized by other schools because obviously you're doing something right with your position group or in terms of recruiting, but obviously the program's doing something right. And to be in a top offense under Coach Riley year in, year out, that recognition's going to come, but there's so much growth for me to happen here at USC. And to be under Coach Riley, to be under his knowledge, to be under the leadership of Chad Bowden and how he recruits, his vision. I mean, I'm a West Coast guy. My family's out west. My friends are out west. I think my name carries weight out west when it comes to recruiting. Now I'm doing everything I can to be able to recruit on a national level, but it starts with Jen Cohen up top, her leadership. There's not a better AD in the game. And when her vision aligns with the head coach and the GM, it trickles down to us position coaches, and you got a great life at USC. I busted my tail to recruit some of these certain individuals, and so I want to see everything to come to fruition here at USC and to get more national championships.
Hey, Coach, Trent Mosley looks like one of the premier receivers coming in here that you recruited. Had a great year last year, but got a little banged up. How do you kind of balance developing, getting on the field, but also maintaining his health through a whole season?
Coach True and those guys and Dustin West, they do a great job with all of our sports performance, rehab stuff, so I'll let them focus on that. I can just have that message of, hey, you got to take recovery very seriously. The best players I've ever coached, when they're not in class or in meetings, they're down there doing recovery. They're doing mobility work. And so he handles himself, carries himself like a pro, so he understands what it takes. I mean, his dad played. His mom's in the mental side of sports, so she has an idea of what's going on. Obviously, his brother's a successful player at Texas, and so he can lean on those people for advice. But it just understands, like, hey, if you want to be great, this is what it's going to take every single day. And so far, he's been tremendous. I'm super excited to get him out there.
You guys used a lot of 12 personnel last year, and I know that was something that Lincoln had wanted to do since he came. Obviously, the tight end room looks a lot different now. Do you expect there will be changes with that? Do you hope to play as much 12 personnel as you did?
I think with Coach Riley's offensive mind, it doesn't matter what personnel in, he's going to scheme guys up. We've got the pieces, but now it's my job to develop those pieces just put them in right place because we do have the talent. We've got more complete guys in the run game. We've got some unique pass catchers. So now it's my job to develop these guys this spring. So when we start game planning in the fall, Coach Riley can trust our room to play 12 personnel.
Coach, you've talked about this in the past. If you want to get on the field, you have to be able to block. Talk about the maturity level of the wide receiver room, not just the inside guys and the tight end, but the entire room.
I mean, it's a pretty young room right now, I'll be honest with you, but I'm very straight when it comes to my message that blocking, all it is attitude and effort. And so you could be a guy that wants to be fancy and catch the ball and do this and do that, but if you're not willing to roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty in the run game, you will not play because the game is still won on blocking and tackling, and you can't lose sight that If we can't block on the perimeter, block in the box, we will not win football games. You have to do that to be able to win football games.
In that same vein, how important was adding Tucker Ashcraft then?
Grateful that we got him. Great addition, great person, great player, has all the qualities you want in a Big Ten tight end. Obviously, he's played tight end in this conference before, so he understands what it takes, but tremendous kid. He's just, the strides he's taken the last month are tremendous, and he's going to be an immediate impact player for us too, not just from a playing standpoint, from a leadership standpoint too.
Hopefully this isn't too bold of a prediction, but is it fathomable to do 13 personnel with this group?
Why not? Why not? I mean, again, we got the pieces, but now it's my job to make sure Coach Riley can trust that if we do want to go 13 personnel.